On the Wake Up Radio presents The Center with your host, DC Radical One.
My name is Elijah Lewis. I'm author, motivational speaker. I'm coming to you from the DMV Showcase. Just wanted to take a quick moment to tell you about my book, Your Jewels in Your Journey. This book is all about giving us the tools we need to be our optimal self. What I tell people is that we're all on a journey, and on the journey we learn that life lessons are jewels, but it's also the people that we connect with that inspire us to be better that are jewels. And more importantly, we find out that at the end of the day, you yourself are a jewel. If you don't know who you are, it's hard to know where you're going. But more importantly, it's all about also teaching other people how to do the same once you feel inspired yourself. So if you want to learn more about me and my book, you can go to my website, www.elijahlewis.org. You can check out my book, Book Me for Motivational Speaking. I speak on topics such as freedom from life's addictions, the reality of your vision, and many other things. And also to let you know that during the holiday season, what we're doing is that when you purchase a copy of Your Jewels in Your Journey, 22% of that goes to a veteran that's battling PTSD. So we definitely want to give back to our veterans, especially those who are battling mental health issues. Mental health is very important. So it's always a nice way to give back to those who are less fortunate and who have given to us. So just let you know that this is going toward a worthy cause as well. And speaking of that, I'll take a quick moment to read from one of my books. A chapter from my book, rather. This is going to come from chapter 7, which is always give back and help others. When you make it to being your optimal self, you should think about who's coming behind you. Effective leaders don't necessarily have followers, but they're building leaders to come behind them. For this reason, it is important to always give back and help others. By doing this, you're helping the next generation be able to get to their optimal self with the lessons and opportunities you have been given. If you have been given a gift, then you should be able to share that gift with the world. It goes back to when I said you should have a great role model. Well, sometimes you need to be a good role model as well, and that starts by giving back and helping others. So definitely, if you feel inspired, check me out again on my website. Definitely, if you're in the DMV area, I always do pop-up events like this. So shout out to Dr. Chichi. She's hosting the DMV vendor showcase. So definitely come check us out. We'd love to meet you, see how we can help you out. And at the end of the day, continue to be the jewels that you are, and maybe find many jewels on your journey.
Greetings, friends, family, allies, and enemies. I'm your host, DC Radical One. You have entered the center. Shout out to our wonderful producer, Cindy Ashby. And a thank you to those who have sponsored the show, whether through purchasing sponsorships or through behind the scenes, just helping us out. Tonight's show is going to be difficult. We're going to have real talk, and it's not going to be pleasant. And many times, what we're talking about is things that people don't want to hear. So it is what it is, but it must be done. We're going to just ask a question. Why do we, the Black community, tend to protect pedophiles instead of protecting our children? That's the question. I'm trying to see if I can get my background music going. I don't hear anything on my end. If you all hear something on your end, let me know. And also let me know about the sound levels. If you could do that, I greatly appreciate it. But we're going to start off, I guess, with Afrika Bambaataa, who recently bit the dust not too long ago. And as we know, he was accused and pretty much proven that he was a lifelong sex offender from the time he was a young man till the time of his passing, as far as we know. And so we don't give any, I'm gonna be honest, man. Can I be honest? I was highly disappointed with the so-called hip hop community or hip hop. I don't know what's up with the music thing. I can't hear anything. So-called hip hop community or whatever you want to call it. And people like Chuck D and of course Karis once said something ridiculous years ago. And I realized after looking at Karis one's a homophile. He's been an undercover homophile for a long time. And I don't know if anybody remembers this song. I can't play the song. Well, I could, but copyright, whatever. But Karis One had a song called 13 and Good back in like 1992, 93, sometime in the early 90s. And the song, I just, y'all can look it up on Spotify or whatever the case may be. The song, he talks about going to a club and meeting a young lady and then having a rendezvous with her. And then he finds out after they have the rendezvous, of course, that she was only 13. Now this is why the song's called 13 and Good. And while he's telling this story, a man knocks on the door and it turns out to be her father. And then the man says, "You can be with my daughter. You just have to service me." Then he said that he beat up the guy and ran away. That's the story. So in Karis One's mind at the time when he was in his 20s, he decided to write a song on a scenario, we don't know if it's fictional or not, dealing with where he was dealing with a 13-year-old girl at this time. He was in his 20s. He made a song like that. He considers his I guess in this case, mentor is the correct word, to be this man, Afrika Bambaataa. Right? We have talked about Afrika Bambaataa before. For those who haven't listened to the show years ago now, this is a decade ago now. Some brothers in New York, they heard about it. I think it was Star. I don't even know what Star's show was called. It used to be Star and Buck Wild, but he got his own. He branched out, did his own thing. He used to be a radio personality. I don't know if he's still on the radio doing YouTube or what. I have no idea. But he brought the information to the table. Hassan Campbell came out. Ronald Savage came out. with the allegations publicly. There was a press conference in New York. Myself, I attended with a contingent for Straight Black Pride, about half a dozen of us. Brother Genie, of course, leading the cause against pedophilia. And we had came to some agreements that we were going to take a stand against it. I don't think I've ever played that video, but you can find that video. I have it on my computer. You can find it. It's a lot of N-word and cussing and stuff going on. One day, maybe what I'll do is I'll take and add it to this. I'll like chop it up and add it to this section of the video, post-production when I chop it up. But in that instance, you had some gentlemen representing Zulu Nation approach the gap aggressively. Brother Genie simply asked them a simple question: do you all advocate for the abuse of children? Once that was said, then the gentleman informed us that no, he does not advocate for that because he himself had 8 or 9 children. So that that de-escalated the situation, and most of the people agreed that we would like to protect our children from sexual abuse. Brother Genie was ready to do whatever was necessary that day, whatever it meant. Myself, other brothers, and a sister, whatever happened, it was just going down that day. Then it was going down. And, if people had to get their life to protect our children from abuse on that day, then it was what it was. Ain't it simple? That's the best way I can say it without getting the show, ripped down. Since then, we've lost that spirit as a people, and it just so happens that like several events kind of converged around the same time. And even though a lot of these things were like a couple of weeks ago, I just felt it was just important enough that I needed to do the show. So here we are. So I'm gonna read this article, see what it says about the man I call Greek Bang Booty, not Afrika Bambaataa. And I haven't even read the article, but you all know that I had extensive history with the case, based on 10 years ago and what happened. It says Afrika Bambaataa, the rapper producer who helped create and bring hip hop and electronic music to the world with songs such as Planet Rock and Looking for the Perfect Beat, has died. He was 68 years old. His manager, Naf Arouj, confirmed to the news to NPR. To the world, he was the godfather of hip hop. To me, he was a visionary, a mentor. I think I should mention what that word mentor means. Mentor is a Greek word, and it has to do with breaking in an older man, breaking in a younger man via homophilia. That's what the word mentor, that's the root of the word. So calling somebody your mentor is not, that is not a word we use. African people use the word jegna, it's teacher or guide, It says what he built, the universal Zulu nation, the culture, the movement, was never just music. Yeah, that was a problem. It was a message of peace, love, unity, and having fun. His spirit lived in every beat, every b-boy, every piece of graffiti, every DJ spinning for the culture. I hate this for the culture thing. Hip hop is not the culture of black people. Black people's culture emanates back to time immemorial. Did not start on our culture, did not start on the streets of the South Bronx or anywhere else here in the hills of North America. But I digress. He says hip hop is a global language today because of him. That's debatable, but I'm not here to debate it. As founder of the Universal Zulu Nation, which includes rappers, taggers, b-boys, Bambaataa put social and political awareness at the center of the early hip-hop cultural movement. In 2016, he was forced
to step down as head of the organization when he was accused by multiple men of having abused them as children, going as far back as the early 1980s. So think about that. That would have been 35 years of violation. Bambaataa denied all allegations. I saw a video. It's from 5 years ago, where Bambaataa said he didn't know who B Stinger, who is Ronald Savage, was, and then Lord Jamar from the group Brand Nubian said that that's a lie because he's seen him in the studio together. So he said that was a lie. So once you say you don't know the man, and everybody in New York, seemingly, you know, at least everybody in the hip hop community in the Bronx know you know the man. We already know what it is, right? We know what it is right then and there. So, and I should have pulled that video, but anyway, let me get back to this article real quick. Y'all gotta excuse me. Anytime I talk about this topic and I think about children, man, and I'm not gonna lie, man, it frustrates me, it chokes me up, it makes me want to choke somebody up. So, like I said, it's difficult. Anyway, we would play oldies but goodies, a lot of soul and funk songs of the late 60s, early 70s, and some rock records. Bambaataa created a deep link between the music and quote-unquote social action. And I don't know what social action he did, bro. I don't mean to be no disrespectful, because I don't know, because a lot of this stuff started when I was very young, and I'm not from New York, so I don't know. That's all I'm gonna say. It says, did I read this? Born Lance Taylor in 1957. 1957. Man, this dude, wow. Okay. Bambaataa grew up in the South Bronx in New York. He began DJing and throwing parties in the 70s when he was still a preteen. That's crazy. As he told music journalist Frank Broughton in an archival interview, many DJs of the time played disco. Okay, that's what we get to. We will play oldies but goodies, lots of soul, funk songs of 60s, early 70s, and some rock songs. Bambaataa created a deep link between the music and social action. He was involved in neighborhood gangs in his youth and used what would become known as hip-hop culture, DJing, breakdancing, and visual art to transform those groups into the universal Zulu nation. He was one of the first DJs with a vision beyond just the jam and just the set and just the records, DJ Shadow told NPR 2014. He wanted to communicate to people. He wanted to change the circumstances of his environment. He wanted to change and uplift his community through music. Rising in the scene at the same time as legendary DJs such as Kool Herc and Grandmaster Flash, Bambaataa showed a particular affinity for mixing in eclectic genres, movie soundtrack themes, and even clips of commercials as part of the new developing breakbeat technique. His specialty came from crate digging in vinyl shops around New York City, and his expansive collection, which he initially inherited from his mom, earned him the nickname Master of Records. At the turn of the decade, Bambaataa formed two rap crews, the Jazzy Five and Soul Sonic Force. In 1982, Bambaataa shifted from playing music with traditional live instrumentation to exploring electronic music, infusing elements from Kraftwerk songs into his breakout hit Planet Rock, which incorporated drum machines, synthesizer, and futuristic vocals. It became his first and only song on Billboard's Hot 100 chart, peaking at number 48, but changed the landscape of hip-hop and electro-funk for decades to come. When I made it, I was trying to grab the black market and the rock market, Bambaataa told Broughton. I wanted to grab them two together. So that's all I was thinking of. I wasn't thinking of the world or the rest of that. He began touring internationally with other members of the Zulu Nation, helping to turn hip-hop to a global phenomenon. In 1985, he helped produce the anti-apartheid song, Sun City. Bambaataa continued releasing music for decades to come and was appointed a visiting scholar at Cornell University in 2012. In 2016, several men accused Bambaataa of sexually abusing them when they were minors, dating back to the 1980s. The accusations harmed Bambaataa's legacy and reputation. He repeatedly denied the accusations. In 2025, he lost a civil lawsuit alleging he abused a 12-year-old boy in 1991, which he did not address the lawsuit or show up to court. So I'll just say this. if you have not done anything and you are being accused to be in court and you don't show up, that tells us all we need to know, in my humble opinion. BB4ODA to brother, you got ripped off. So I'm going to play this clip. I'm probably going to lose all my monetization for this show, but I'm going to play this clip from an interview with Vlad TV of Hassan Campbell, and he will talk about his situation with Greek Bang Booty. So give me a second and we will get into that.
Okay, so you've always seen Bambaataa around, but then was it around 12, 13 where you actually got sort of involved in Zulu Nation and started spending more time with them?
Yeah.
Okay. And what really led you to doing that?
Well, see, growing up in Bronx River and being a part of the Zulu Nation, you had a lot of warriors that was part of the Zulu Nation. It was guys that you really, really looked up to and you wanted to be a part of them. It's almost sort of like the gang culture that's going on right now, but the difference was you had some killers in the Zulu Nation. You had some break dancers in the Zulu Nation. You had some rappers. You every once in a while you would see LL Cool J. You would see Ice-T. You would see everybody. So it's like now you got the. It's like right now going around Lil Wayne and Young Thug and all these younger ones right now. The kids is gonna go crazy. So now when you seeing, because it wasn't just so much about Afrika Bambaataa, it was about the family. Everybody in Bronx River was part of the Zulu Nation. Our parents grew up in the Zulu Nation, and you know it was the older generations. And now you get to see the warriors, and you just wanted to be a part of that. Like, for example, you know, you don't really hear his name too much. B.O. was a big inspiration in my life that made me want to be a part of the Zulu Nation, and my big brother Jerry. You know, these were dudes in that time that, you know, were strong, real strong brothers.
Okay, so you started hanging out with Afrika Bambaataa. You're 13 or so at the time, and you said he was like a father to you.
Right.
And you didn't have your father around. He was in and out on drugs.
Right.
Okay. So at what point did it turn into just an innocent relationship to something going wrong?
Yeah, where do I start with that? Is him being in the house, coming with the tapes, the VCR, the Vaseline, the porn, and it's like, oh, okay, this is getting weird. Like, I'll give you an example. What one day when me and Eric was there, and we in the office / workout room, the room next to the bathroom, 1609. So we in that room, and it's a weight bench in there, and me and Eric, we working out. We on the bench pressing. Bam comes in the room. He got the Polaroid camera. And now he's convincing us, oh, look at those muscles. So now he gassing us up to take our shirt off so we could flex our muscles. And when he walked out of the room and he started doing the clicking, he clicking with the camera. Me and Eric, we looks at each other, and he was like, yo, you seen that episode of Different Strokes when Arnold and Dudley, and it was the same situation with them, you know. So that takes you back to one of our experiences with Bam. This is what he do.
Okay. At one point, did he actually start to molest you, though, after showing you the tapes and so forth?
Absolutely.
At that point, he started actually...
He follows you in the bathroom. Now, when you go in the bathroom, he got to go in the bathroom with you, and he's peeing at the same time. It's like he's incredible. Now he's timing you going to the bathroom and pissing at the same time when he's pissing. Then he comes with the young men is supposed to jerk off, and then He leaves his room door open with porn playing, and he might walk out and then just have you sitting there. And then he leaves you with the porn playing. Then he turns around, and this is what how you really like. He's bugged out, and you realize how sick he really is, especially when you think back. Now he has books, and in those black books, people you never think that you would ever even expect is in those books, butt ass naked. And when you look at those books, you actually looking at stair steps of the older generation before you in those books, and him catching all these guys at a young age.
Okay, are these people that we know about these days?
Well, some of them probably. And I know in the past I done threw names out, and I said I'm gonna try my best not to really call people out. But you know, in the streets, woo-wee. Like, yeah. I mean, the reality of it is, it's like this in Bronx River, and a lot of people don't want to admit it. One day, there was a fight, and I said this in my video that Star had put up. One day there was a fight going on. I believe it was a Roy Jones fight, and there was like 50 dudes inside the apartment watching the fight. So when I come in, I'm the last one to come into the fight. So somebody said to me, they was like, all right, Bam done tried everybody in this room. What'd he do to you? Then the whole room bust out laughing. I started laughing with him, but later on, I was like deep in thought, like, this nigga got me. But the truth of the matter is,
All right. Sorry about that, brothers and sisters. Had a tech glitch on the video, but brother, you got ripped off. You had a question. I do not know. I don't remember, because that interview was 5 years ago. So I don't know. Pay people. So that's why people show up. Like, people show up because he pays people. I don't know the source of his money or whatever, but I know he pays people for his interviews. I don't know how much, but I know he does pay people for interviews. I don't know if Hassan did an interview with the sister. I really don't remember. I know they were in communication. I do remember that. But again, this case hit the forefront 10 years ago. And, you know, Bang Booty did not receive any jail time. And the only negative consequences is, here's the irony of it. From my understanding, he died of, this is my understanding. Now, I could be wrong, but prostate cancer, right? And so it's a little, it's ironic that that's what he died from. Somebody also said that it may have spread to other nether regions down there. It's the way it goes. So good riddance to bad rubbish. But like I said, this is a shout out to Hassan Campbell for having the courage to come up. Shout out to Ronald Savage for having the courage to come out publicly. I've met both of them, actually. I met Ronald Savage was there at the press conference in Harlem in 2016, and I met Hassan Campbell later on that was in Harlem at Alhambra Ballroom.
there's no, if you ever met Ronald Savage, there's no doubt something happened to them. That man's traumatized. He's traumatized. Doesn't matter what he says, what did and didn't happen, this and that. That man's traumatized. You can see it all over him. Like you just know it. You just know it. Hassan, like, first of all, I'm gonna be honest. Hassan is a strong brother. Only when he discusses this subject do you see a little shakiness, but he's strong, man, and he's a soldier. Like, I've seen a lot of people like saying disrespectful stuff to him and this and that. I'm gonna just be honest. You can say that on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Met the dude. I some things I can't say, but let's just say he has put in work for Zulu Nation when he was younger. And so I don't think he forgot how to put in work. That's all I'm saying. So I say, like, people like, yeah, man, you Bank Booty did this and that and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah. I don't know where he stay at. I guess he's still in New York. You know what I'm saying? Going up over there and say that to him. You know what I'm saying? You see, I'm just saying, put your bets on before you say it. That's all I'm saying. So I do have I just got respect for the brother. You know what I'm saying? I don't know him like that, but I just respect his courage. You know. Now, who among us who's not a survivor can say how they would be in the midst of that? Like, one thing that we don't talk about is keeping it real. We don't talk about this. We have a lot of young men who have been victimized, whether by men or women, sometimes men and women, who are out here hurting and going buck wild and shooting up, beating up, stabbing up, and acting up 36 ways to Sunday. And everybody's like, what's wrong with the children? Well, have you ever asked what's wrong with the children? What happened to the children to make something be wrong with the children? We don't want to talk about that part. We got to wait till people can come to grips with it when they're 30, 35, 40, 45, right? What happened 35 years ago. We can't even find the person, or the person dead. And so, the question for the show is, why does the Black community protect predators? Right? Brother, you got ripped off, says hurt people. And that's real talk right there. I was hoping we had more people. I was hoping we had more interaction. But I do understand that these type of shows where people don't want to talk, because sometimes people are having flashbacks. Sometimes they don't want to listen to the show. Sometimes people got children, they start looking at their children and they don't want to think about it. And, I know all that stuff happens. My apologies for not putting a parental advisory on this. I should have put a parental advisory. I guess I kind of thought they would, talk about what you're talking about. It's no, it's not something you want for the children. So any undue language or anything, you have my apologies for that. I didn't have time I thought I had chopped up a couple of the videos, but I didn't actually. I just messed up. Let's put it like that. So we're gonna get the videos wrong, and whatever becomes of that becomes of that. So that is the Bang Booty story. There is more to it in the sense of, and I made a video before. Basically, I think it was straight Black pride versus LGBT or something to that effect, where I went more into detail with that. But we were attacked from the rostrum a couple of weeks after that by the Nation of Islam, specifically Wesley Muhammad, challenging us to a measure of manhood and things like that. We were like, you would like to believe that was coincidental, that we were not being attacked for fighting against pedophilia, but those two things did occur in the same time frame, and the Nation of Islam was not represented at that event in 2016, where we tried to take a stand against the abuse of our children. I will never forget that day, because I saw black women crying and hopeful that and thankful that men were finally being men. It was a fleeting moment. We came under attack from various forces within the black community. Some were paid off, without a doubt. We had a follow-up event that was featuring Brother Irritated Genie and Brother Tazariak of the Hebrew community. I can't remember the name of his exact community, so I don't want to misquote, you know. And this was in New York. This was at Alhambra Ballroom. Money was put out to rent it. Alhambra Ballroom is a huge facility, nice facility. And yeah, nobody showed up. We were trying to figure out why nobody showed up. Thank you, brother ISUPK, brother Captain Tazariak from ISUPK. Nobody showed up, and we come to find out that people had counter-programmed against us. That Queen Afua was having an event the same day. I think in another part of Harlem, now, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe it was Brooklyn. It was either another part of Harlem or Brooklyn. And so, of course, she's a big figure in what was the conscious community at that time. And so the audience that we would have had it wasn't even divided in half. Like 75% went with her. And yeah, so there was a conscious effort to stop the rise of an anti-pedophile movement from the conscious community, with would have been Brother Irritated Genie and Captain Tazariak at the center. As it turns out now, this is before the Pizzagate revelations. This is before the Epstein revelations. So straight black pride, and we have to thank Brother Genie for being the general, was at the center of the storm, and we were on the pulse of the war that was going on, but we just didn't know it. So we didn't understand why we were coming under attack from various people, and come to find out that we were going directly against the cultural imperative of Zionist forces. Right? I guess we should have known because of slavery and things like that, but we didn't know that those things were being implemented and that the so-called rich elites were in the midst of that. We were just fighting against the black, this in the black community, not knowing that we were right there going against a global agenda, right? Global, at the time, of course, global pedophilia is going on with the Epstein thing. Like I said, the next year, the whole Pizzagate thing would break. And so we were fighting against forces that we didn't know about, and they probably thought there's no way that these people are just stumbling into our crimes, and so we have to oppose them. And they did. And they sent various forces. Some were paid, some I don't know what happened, right? And that was that. So I want to read this article. No. I want to get to the next thing. We're going to talk about three main cases. So the Bang Booty case, like I said, because of personal involvement, and I guess what you could say was the aftermath of the revelations. I wanted to start with that. Next, I want to get into the situation with Brandy, and then I'm gonna close out with this David case, because that is ongoing as we speak. I believe he had a hearing today, which I didn't know. I just so happened to be this the day I picked. This is the time I had free, and so it's there. Now, let's go with this one here. This is from people. It says Brandy. Hold on, my bad. Brandy says ex-boyfriend Wanya Morris of Boyz II Men took advantage of her due to their age gap. The shame ends here. And let me just say this. Shout out to Brandy for bringing this on, bringing out this information. I have respect for anybody who's gone through a situation and they have the courage to speak. Brandy, of course, is internationally known. She was a huge star for a while. She was involved with Wanya Morris, which I had heard, but I didn't, just before the internet. So you don't know. Hold on, brother. You got ripped off. You said, hold on, put this up real quick. It says ISU PK was attacked by a channel called Dagger Squad, which was espousing rhetoric that the group was pedophiles. Okay, I didn't hear about that, but I'm not surprised because I'm not surprised, right? But back to the article, back to Brandy. I had heard that they were together, but it just seemed weird because he seemed so much older than her. Like, how can I put it? When I was around this time when all this was going on, I was young, and there were certain people. When I think back on it, I was like, oh, why wasn't I attracted to this person? Or why wasn't I attracted to that person? Like, for example, Aaliyah. I was never really attracted to Aaliyah. But then I realized because Aaliyah was so young, much younger than me, she never even grew up to be, in my eyes, never grew up to be a woman. So I was never attracted to her. You know what I'm saying? Brandy did grow up to be a woman, fortunately. But, she was Moesha. Like, she was like your little sister. And so when this thing came back up, I was like, it just seemed weird to me again. I was like, Wanya? And, huh? And what? So I just say that to say I didn't know the details. So when the details came out, and it was like, this ain't good, right? So let's read the article, and then we got some video to accompany this. It says Brandy opens up like never before in her new memoir, Phases, out now. The R&B superstar shares that she dated Boyz II Men star Wanya Morris when she was a teen and he was in his early 20s. The relationship scarred her, she writes, and she now feels he took advantage of her youth with naivete. This is them together. This is the Brandy I remember. Cute young girl, talented singer, actress, somebody that was supposed to go on and be like the hugest of stars. It kind of happened, and then it kind of didn't. It just kind of fell off. Had some negative things happen in their life, and now she's out telling what's going on. That's it is what it is. It says Brandy's opened up for the first time about the relationship she says haunted her. In Phases, the R&B singer's new memoir, she shares details of her late 90s relationship with Boyz II Men singer Wanya Morris. She says began when she was 16. Okay, cool, because I thought they said 15. But not cool, but anyway, y'all know what I'm trying to say. I thought he met her when she was like 14 or 15. So, and he was in his early 20s. Now, my understanding, he was like 22. So, you just think of it this way. And I remember talking to somebody about this. And when you are, how can I put it? When you're in college or in school, there are general societal barriers that make you not want to look at certain people a certain way. So, for example, right? At least when I was coming up in the Black community, if you were in high school, you're not looking at nobody. Right? If you're a junior, you're not looking at any freshmen. Not really. It was considered weird. If you were in college, like the idea of dealing with somebody that was in high school, unless y'all were already together, that was weird. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times people just went to college and they just, that relationship, whatever they had before that thing, just went by the wayside. But those institutions put up societal barriers. When you remove that stuff, right? You remove those institutions, like when you go in the hood, there's a lot of questionable relationships with, especially young men with girls of various ages. And I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna just be completely honest. There are times where girls will lie about their age in order to be with an older man. What I found out is what is that a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times, that's because the girl has already been violated, and that changes their mentality, right? So, but nobody wants to talk about that. People just want to say, "Oh, these girls are fast." Are they fast, or are they survivors of trauma? And this is the outgrowth of their trauma. 99 out of 100 times is an outgrowth of trauma. Little girls just don't wake up one day and start chasing after older boys and trying to be with them, physically. That's not what happens. Okay, that ain't it. Like, stop the cap. That's not what goes on, right? And we really have to kill that narrative, because in our community, just be honest, man. Like, there's a lot of blame the victim that goes on in the Black community. Like I said, I saw it with Hassan Campbell and asking how old he was, and B Stinger, and asking how old he was, and all this, and why you ain't do this and that. They were around a man who had evidence of having gotten away with multiple crimes for years, and had killers on the payroll. You know what I'm saying? Like, the killers on the payroll thing, man, is I'm just saying, that'll make you look at things differently. Especially as an adult. So what do you think it does to a child, right? But anyway, get back to our sister Brandy. Now, shout out to Brandy. I hope she's doing well, man. I hope she healed from this, with the trauma in her life. She says, I was in over my head, sneaking around with Wanya and lying to my parents had become a constant. They barely liked the idea of me dating at all, and telling them about us was out of the question. Brandy, now 47, writes. And it's so interesting because now, me looking at her now as a grown woman, it's just like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? The age difference when you're older is so much smaller. But at that time, that would have been like somebody's little sister running up on you. Shoot. Anyway, but it wasn't just about upsetting or disappointing my parents, she continues. Wanya and I understood with diamond cut clarity that public knowledge of our relationship would ignite scandal, potentially threatening everything we both worked for. So he and I opted for elaborate fiction. We would pretend patience and claim we were waiting until my 18th birthday before pursuing any romantic connection. And let's stop right here. Even that's crazy, because if you with a young lady and you have to say that you're gonna wait till you're 18 to pursue anything, you've already in your mind pursued it. The hunt is over. You've already psychologically conquered the other individual, and they have agreed to be with you. And let's be realistic, if that's taking place, usually some physical activity has gone on. So even if somebody says that, it's capped. Like, usually you've done something. So see, I'm not gonna lie, back in that time, I didn't know any of this. I missed that. Anyway, Brandy writes of losing her virginity to Morris, now 52. She goes on to share that as their relationship progressed, he became prone to comparing her to other hit R&B singers, namely Mariah Carey, his One Sweet Day duet partner. He was also increasingly hard to track down, and she was required to page him prior to calling. Why was he comparing her to Mariah Carey? I mean, Mariah Carey has one of the largest vocal ranges in the world. But I'm gonna be honest, comparing your brown skinned girlfriend to a mixed woman is not going to help her esteem, especially when she's a little girl. And Mariah Carey, I think we're around the same. Mariah Carey may be older than me, but wait a minute, because when she came out, I was still in school when she came out. So anyway, that's just weird. She said, these are the things that with hindsight you realize are wildly obvious signs of something wrong. Neon warning signs that I chose to ignore because I didn't know what the hell I was doing or what he was doing with me. Just that I was in love, or what I believed was love. She's quoted in the book. She says that the two split up after she discovered and he admitted that he was cheating. For years, she says that Morris had described their relationship as a young ingenue having a schoolgirl crush, getting her heart broken. That's not the case, she says. I believe he took advantage. I believe so too. The shame ends here. The silence ends here. She adds of coming to terms with the feeling that she was manipulated into and throughout the relationship. I was not a fast girl with a crush. I was not a dramatic teenager who couldn't handle rejection. I was not an unstable, obsessive fan. I was a child. He was an adult. And it's time that the world understood the difference. Representatives for Morris did not immediately return people's requests for comment. Over the years, the singer has spoken about the relationship, including during the 2021 live social media post where he shared, "We were young, you're young, and you fall in love." He added, "As time progressed, we grew out of each other. She grew out of me and I grew out of her. I might have grown out of her a little bit faster." Yeah, exactly. Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Like, I know you don't want to sound like a pedo perv, but come on, man. And brother Rip, you got ripped off, says, "Victim blame yourself. We've taken on the mentality of the colonizer." Indeed, we have. Yes, we have, brother. So I'm gonna play this clip of, I believe this is the brat as she talks about it, because she was there around that time. So let's check out what the brat had to say. All right, brothers and sisters, my apologies. We haven't seems the video did not come up. I can't load the video for some reason. Give me a second. Maybe I can load the other video. Hold on. Let me try something real quick. Because I'm not sure what is going on. All right, let's try this again. All right. Okay. All right. I'm not sure what is happening right now. Well, I'm going to try another video. And if that does not work, I guess we will not have video for the rest of the show. Why that is, I do not know. But yeah. All right. Let's try this again. So we're gonna play Wanya and see what he has to say. Nope. Fine. Okay. Well, let me just give you the rundown of that. Basically, it was a clip of Wanya Morris speaking
Possibly, brother. I don't know. But it was a clip of and what I'll end up doing is I'm gonna end up chopping this up and I'll add the clips later. It was a clip of Wanya Morris, and he was talking about his relationship with Brandy, and he basically admitted to what she said. So, and of course, the situation with the brat, that video, she was talking about, how it was, and she was there, and she knew Brandy, and Brandy was in love, and things like that. And she was talking to somebody on I guess her show, or the radio show she was on. The person was a homophile, and they were saying that they didn't believe it, and I wanted to show that just to show how the homophile is. The homophile was basically defending the pedo, if you will. So here's my question. I don't think that was Billy Porter. I don't really. I'm not sure who that dude was, to be honest, brother. I don't know if you've seen the clip or not. I don't know who that dude was, so I don't think it was Billy Porter. But here's my question, right? Because I said before, we haven't really made guidelines around in the Black community around dating, of young people dating, like young people in their late teens dating people in their mid teens and things like that. What's I would like to know what's the age difference, or what ages do y'all think are inappropriate, or what age is off limits? Like when, for example, when should a young person even begin dating, and how much older should a person be, or what's the limit on age? So that's my question. And I would like some feedback in the chat for that. By the way, welcome to the center. I'm your host, DC Radical One. You follow me on Instagram at DC.Radical1, on Twitter at DC_Radical_ONE, on OTW2 at DC Radical One, and the Cashapp is $DC Radical One. So again, what this shows us is that, again, we're talking about events that were 30 years ago, right? Let's see, Brandy was 16, she's 47. Yeah, so 30 years ago, and she's still affected by it. Before they two brothers told me, and brother says the brat sexually exploited, now confused female allows sexual exploitation of a person she claimed as a little sister. But one thing I'll say, we were all young. I don't even know how old the brat is, to be honest. I guess she's around. I don't know how old the brat is. I don't think she was that much older than Brandy. She may have been maybe 18 or so. We know now that the whole entertainment industry. Here's what I didn't know or didn't understand. First of all, I didn't understand how corrupt Hollywood was. And I didn't know that the Black community, the Black music community, was having the same issues that Hollywood was having. Those two things at the time never occurred to me. Now, if you said, hey, Hollywood's corrupt and those people over there in Hollywood are doing X, Y, Z, A, B, C, I'd have been like, oh yeah, okay, I can see that. But the idea that those same things were happening from the Black music industry, no, I wouldn't have thought that. Like the R. Kelly Aaliyah thing
man, when you're young and you're not introduced to stuff, it was always weird, but you didn't really know what was going on. But it was always weird, like when they were be in each other's presence, or he'd be around, and Aaliyah always had her eye covered, or she always wore shades, and it's just a lot of stuff in the internet age. You like things are recorded and kept, and people can play it back and put it in and chop it up and remix and all this stuff. Before the internet age, if you missed an interview, you just missed it, unless somebody recorded it on VHS, right? If something came out in the magazine and you didn't get it, you know, maybe you could see the magazine at somebody else's house or buy an older version. But a lot of information at that time, if you didn't see it, you missed it, and you basically had to rely on the word of someone who did see it or was there. And if you didn't know anybody, then you just missed it. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, the whole Wanya and Brandy thing was kind of like, at best, a rumor, but I don't even remember. You know, like I said, I remember hearing the rumor and being like, yeah, that's weird. That's probably fake. That's literally was it. And I never thought about it again. And now it comes up now. But what it goes to show is that if this happens to super mega stars and people like that, then we know what's going on in our communities. If someone like Bang Booty can victimize who knows how many men or boys, really. I mean, I forgot about like what was the group B2K and that whole situation. I wasn't even hip to their music, so when I started hearing that stuff, I was like, what? Who? What happened? Who? So this stuff has gone on for years, and my dad just crashed. Fine, right? This stuff has been going on for years, and we have done nothing as a community, and it's just. I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna just be honest. I've said this before. I'm gonna say it again. What did I tell you all? And maybe I didn't say it publicly. So y'all, if I didn't say it publicly, say DC, you never told me this publicly. But I said this before when the war kicked off, right? The Iran war kicked off. I remember telling somebody privately, a couple of people privately, I said the group of men who publicly stand against pedophilia will be the most popular men, the most powerful men, and they will be able to get any women they want because they will be taking a stand against something that has affected a lot of women. Next thing you know, Iran is saying we're fighting the Epstein class, framing it as a war against global sex trafficking, pedophile network, saying they're warring against this, right? So then what I start seeing sisters. Y'all give me a second because I dropped something, trying to pick it up. So I see sisters talking about how they were attracted to various Iranian government officials. Oh, they like what's the foreign minister? Abbas Arachi. I think that's his name. I'm butchering it. Y'all gotta forgive me. Or the guy called the other Ibrahim and some other people. Now these women that couldn't even find Iran on a map. So what was I looking at? I said, I'm looking at, there it is. This is what I said would happen. Here it is. Because they're taking a stand against global pedophilia and Zionism, they were seen as men. And so we look at here, we look at black community, we look at how our women, do our women as a collective respect us as black men? The answer is no. We know the answer. But here's the question that's never asked. We're going to ask a real question. Let's have real talk, real dialogue. Have we as men over the last 40 years given our women as a collective anything to respect? Have we built anything economically? Have we fought in an organized manner against racism, white supremacy? Have we fought in an organized manner against Zionism? Have we fought in an organized manner against the abuse of our children? Have we fought in an organized manner against gentrification? Have we fought in an organized manner against miseducation of our children? Have we fought in an organized manner to organize our economic resources to better our communities? Have we fought anything? Like, what else you got? What other problems do? Have we fought in an organized manner against chemical and biological warfare? Now, I can say this, right? This is not a brag. This is just reality. I've been part of organizations that have fought a lot of the things I listed. Let me tell you something. The doors wasn't being bust down with people trying to help us out. The most popular of those organizations was the Nation of Islam, and they were fighting against drugs in the black community in the 80s. Right? That was the most popular organization. At best, you're talking about 10,000 people. At best, at that time, there were 40 million black people in America. And at that time, I was a teenager. You see what I'm saying? So when you look at it that way, we don't get respect from our women, there's a reason for that. Have we shown that we're men? Right? No one's going to question whether Iranian men in Iran are men, because they show that they're men. Back in the days where we broke out Assad Shakur out of incarceration, we were showing we were men. Back in the days where we were having shootouts with unjust police, we were showing we were men. Back in the days when Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad went and challenged the KKK in Texas after the lynching of James Byrd, we were showing that we were men. There's not a lot of that in the 21st century to point to. One of the things we can point to is the fact that large groups, well, not a large group, but groups of men, including ISUPK and Straight Black Pride, on the horizon, took a stand against sexual abuse in the black community and called Greek Bang Booty to the carpet. And then we were opposed by forces that we believe were backed by Zionists. Right? People were getting killed behind that stuff at the time. Brothers like Doggy Diamonds, he was there. He was there at the beginning of it. Star was there at the beginning of it. You know, other they were there at the beginning before we even knew what was going on, because they were in New York, right? So you know what I'm saying? So they showed that they were men because they were willing to take on the issue, knowing, you know, they knew way more than we knew that. You know, you can catch some bullets talking about this stuff. These people had shooters, right? So if people's cowardice could be understood to a degree, but at some point somebody's got to take a stand. Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad said somebody's got to be strong. At some point, we have to either be men or be destroyed. Those are the two options available. Right. So, I want to get to this last part because I got to be off in the next 30 minutes. So, I want to talk about this David case. Stylized before. No, my bad. Let me read this article real quick. My bad. It says, op-ed why Brandy and Wanya's relationship wasn't okay, not even for the 90s. All right. So this is from Essence Magazine. This is from April 7, 2026. It says, when we talk about growing up in the 90s, many of us are transported back to an unforgettable time filled with a sense of nostalgia. Beepers, fan ponytails, classic music, and iconic black sitcoms. One of the most poignant memories from that time was being called and groomed by grown men. Was being catcalled, and groomed by grown men. Wow. Turns out that was all too common experience. Brandy recently detailed her version of events around dating a grown man as a teenager in her newly released memoir, Phases. The alleged man in question is Boyz II Men Wanya Morris, who she claims began grooming her at age 15 by offering her industry-related advice and calling regularly to check up on her. According to Brandy, they became romantically involved when she turned 16. Morris was 22 at the time. She wrote that she lost her virginity to the crooner. My girlfriend is 16. I don't remember when he first said it, but those 4 words started rolling off Wanya's tongue whenever we were alone, Brandy wrote in the book. I couldn't tell if this refrain was meant to soothe his own conscience or temper the question shimmering in my gaze. I don't, man. You know, stuff sounds worse when you say it. I don't know how he said that out loud and then just continue doing what he was doing. Like, it just sounds crazy, especially as a 22-year-old. Because when I was 22, I'm not gonna lie, some dude told me that I might swing him. Might have swung him. Like, what is going on? But yeah. Anyway, as expected, when anyone shares a controversial account of an experience, you have both supporters and detractors. Some people are condemning the alleged actions of Boyz II Men singer, while others have taken to accusing the "I Want to Be Down" singer of being fast. Let's be honest, man. If you saw Brandy back in the days, fast is not the word that you thought of. It's so funny because I remember the "I Want to Be Down" remix, which was a remix of her own song with Queen Latifah and I think MC Light and some other people were on it. And she didn't even fit in. Like, they were all older and they were talking about stuff that was, kind of more grown than she was. And, she didn't even fit in on her own song because everybody she was with was older and she just seemed like a little girl. So, yeah, Brandy Fast was not what Brandy was. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I think the point of view that I'm most taken aback by is the fact that because minors dating adults was supposedly normal in the 90s, Brandy should move on. It's a dangerous thing to say, considering many unethical things that have happened in the past were once downplayed as the norm. Once upon a time, slavery was normal. Women not having access to bank accounts was normal. Child brides were also common, and they still are in some places. Yet we still fight for retribution for those past crimes. If things aren't called out in the present, they're likely to be repeated in the future. All these things are true. This is, this article so far is pretty solid. Arguing that grooming and statutory violation were normal in the 90s, so they should get a pass, is harmful, not just to the victims, but also to the progress we are making in protecting girls and women. Let me stop right here. Here's my only problem with this article. It wasn't just girls and women, and it wasn't just men being the victimizers, as we've come to find out, right? Like, there was a whole thing on social media a few years ago with a bunch of men talking about their first experience with grown women and things like that. So that's the one thing we got to avoid is the genderizing of this, right? Are the more sensational cases going to feature men victimizing women and girls? Absolutely. Is that largely would that be the majority of the cases? I'm pretty sure. With that being said, the rampant homophilia that's in our community now, people who are being victimized, you got men victimizing girls, you got women victimizing boys, you got women victimizing girls, you got men victimizing boys. Like, there's no the old stereotype of the older guy grooming the young girl while still happens is just one of the scenarios that is taking place now. Anyway, that says we must call out everything that's inappropriate until we get to a place where we feel, she says, where we, so talking about women, feel safe existing alongside men. And that starts with redefining what is socially appropriate and morally acceptable. And let's be real, many of the behaviors we normalize are steeped in quote unquote patriarchal values. Let's stop right here. This is where I draw the line on this article. It's not patriarchal values, it's European culture. That's what we have to understand. The things we're talking about are European culture. They're not African culture. They're not patriarchy and this and that. This idea that women are going to fight and defeat the patriarchy. It's not going to happen, because if women were to get aggressive with men will turn into barbarians, and you understand the rest of the story. So this whole defeat the patriarchy thing that feminists have blamed onto is going to get people hurt. That's what it's going to do. Let's just cut the crap. Most of these dudes out here already can't control themselves, can't control their temper, can't regulate their emotions. So we got to deal with reality, right? Now, do I agree with all the other parts of the article? Absolutely. But the reality is that in order to defeat homophilia, and in this case, the pedophilia part of the equation, it's the men that are going to have to do it. And I'm going to just say this for women that don't understand. When women say, how come the men don't do X, Y, Z? You're asking us to commit crime. This is beyond. Men don't, when men check men, generally speaking, the chance of physical violence goes up 75 to 80%. Fine. Just add the bail money. Because somebody's going to get hurt. Because if somebody touches somebody's child and then we show up and then they act like they going to do something or they going to break bad, somebody's getting hurt. That's just all. Ain't nowhere somebody is going to the hospital or the morgue or the jail or all some combination thereof. That's all it is to it. Period. Ain't nothing else to talk about. That's what it is. So I just want people to understand what you're asking for, right? When we were in New York and the Zulu Nation dudes came up, that thing could have went left real quick. But whatever happened, they was gonna get mobbed on because they didn't realize that there were people right beside them who happened to be with Jeannie at the time. They didn't know they were in arm's reach of us. So if they had to step in any further, they was gonna get mobbed on, and whatever happened was gonna happen. I'm just using that as an example of how left things could get. But the brother escalated it with a simple question: do you support violation of children? Right? But that thing, it could have got hot real quick because they came up there to handle business. So that's just an example. I wish I had the video. When I find the video, I'll chop it up. So I'm just letting people know that when you say, why don't the men do X, Y, Z about certain things, you're asking people to put their lives on the line. And if you're going to ask people to put their lives on the line, you at least need to be able to show the support for the movements they're in, or whatever. If you're not supporting these men that you're asking to put their lives on the line? Just stop with the theoretical nonsense, because we're in a time of war now. We're in a time of war. You look at what's going on in Mali. You look at what's going on in Iran. You look at what's going on in Gaza. You look at what's going on in Congo. Look what's going on in the streets of America. Like, everything is being handled with violence. Period. And any change, I've talked about this for a long time. The greatest lie that black people ever bought into is the lie of non-violent social change. There is no such thing in any society anywhere on earth since the reign of the European. Any social change has occurred violently. Period, point blank. I was talking to somebody and I said, they were talking about the Epstein thing and people were talking about voting. I'm like, how you gonna vote out Satan? You know what I'm saying? Like, how you think Satan is going to allow you to vote him out? Satan is he's ruling the planet. And I'm using symbolism to talk about the people that's ruling the planet. And they're doing unspeakable things to children. You can't vote that out, because if people will violate children, they don't have any regard for anyone. So the idea that you can vote them out, it's preposterous. It's going to take some people going to have to put in some work. And by people, I mean mostly the men. In the thing, the race of the men is really irrelevant, because everybody seems like they can point to the women in their race or people in their race being violated in some type of way, shape, or form. To be honest, more white men should be more up in arms than anybody with that. But we got our own issues in our community that we haven't dealt with. We haven't dealt with Uncle JoJo and Ray Ray. We haven't dealt with Greek Bang Booty. Now he didn't. We didn't deal with it to the point that he died. Right. So let's get to this last thing, because yeah. So just want to look at this. Like I said, I didn't even chop up video for this, which I guess it doesn't matter since the video won't play, because the case, they were having a hearing while I was setting up the show. It says prosecutors say singer David stabbed 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez to death to silence her. Let's get into it. Prosecutor, come on, man, please. Prosecutors say Wednesday that singer David killed 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez by stabbing her multiple times. The Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office shared what they said the evidence would show in a document filed Wednesday that provided the first detailed allegations of efforts to dismember Rivas Hernandez's body to get rid of the evidence. The court filing said David, whose legal name is David Allen Burke, met Rivas Hernandez when she was 11. And began a sexual relationship with her when she was 13 and he was 18. And he deleted her when she threatened to reveal their inappropriate relationship. Knowing he had to silence the victim before she ruined his music career, as she had threatened very soon after her arrival at his home, defendant stabbed the victim to death multiple times and stood by while she bled out. Her body was found decomposing in a Tesla towed from the Hollywood Hills in September of last year. Prosecutors obtained text messages between the two from August 22nd, 2025, the night before all her phone activity went quiet, and they believe she was deleted. The messages revealed the victim's jealousy over defendant's relationships with other women. Anyway, let me just say this. Let me say something. If you going out here violating and dealing with underage girls or people or whatever, And then you gonna sit around and cheat. They got him in PC, man. Let me just be honest. If this case comes out and this information is correct and he's convicted, we need to put something on somebody's commissary to put in that work. I know this little girl's not from my community. I don't care. This is disgusting. This is... Bro, you got Rudolph said, he said that we don't do ish because everybody got to record what's happening. Yet, talking about stop snitching. We snitch on ourselves, but we don't snitch on the actual monsters or not. Bro, I didn't even think about that. Anyway, yeah, you're right. Said the defendant took horrifying measures to destroy and discard the victim's body. The body was so degraded that examiners couldn't even determine her eye color. She had braces on at the time of her death and tattooed a wrist on the inside of her finger, as well as his name, according to the report. 2 fingers were missing, as were parts of her arms and legs. The document says Burke brought 2 chainsaws online and that he used to cut apart her body in an inflatable pool. They said the girl's DNA was found in his garage where they alleged that this dismemberment occurred. Prosecutors had not previously described how they believe Rivas Fernandez was killed or even given details of their relationship. An autopsy report says she was deleted by penetrating wounds. Burke has pled not guilty to first-degree homicide and other counts. His lawyers have said he's innocent and did not cause Rivas Fernandez's death. The defense attorneys asked Superior Court Judge Charlene F. Omedo at a hearing Wednesday to seal the document, but she declined. They had no comment outside of court. Yeah, you ain't got no comment with that. Because this crime is so heinous, you've been better off pleading guilty and throwing yourself on the mercy of the court. And this is from the New York Times. D4BD, aka David, used chainsaw to dismember Police Rivas in his garage, according to prosecutors. That probably largely has the same information. You say this happened on the night of August. So this is exactly what, 2 years ago? Or 1 year ago? I guess almost exactly a little over 1 year ago. They said that he ordered a shovel from Home Depot from Postmates that was delivered to his home. On May 1st, he allegedly ordered 2 chainsaws from Amazon that were delivered to his home. And on May 5th, he allegedly ordered a body bag, heavy-duty laundry bags, and a blue inflatable pool. They allegedly made a purchase under a fake name of Victoria Mendez, according to the documents. From there, investigators say Burke took horrifying measures to destroy and discard the victim's body. Burke allegedly placed Rivas' body into the blue inflatable pool to prevent her blood from making a mess on his garage floor, and used a chainsaw or perhaps other tools to remove her limbs, according to documents. This is horrifying. And this says that David fornicated with 14-year-old Celeste Rivas and lay in wait before causing her death. This is a picture of the little girl. There's a picture of the Tesla, and this is him. He's a little frail guy who, let's see, says Burke was in court Wednesday for a procedural hearing where Burke's attorney said she was concerned about the alleged evidence against him becoming public. Too late! Investigators, last week it was revealed that a significant amount of inappropriate child pictures and videos was allegedly found on Burke's iPhone after conducting search of the device. Investigators claim to have gathered 40 terabytes of data in the lengthy investigation. They also revealed they conducted a wiretap. Rivas, the 14-year-old girl allegedly killed by died from multiple penetrating injuries, according to the Los Angeles coroner's office. We'll be covering this case as it goes on. But you got real life wonders if she was pregnant. I almost think that they would bring that up, or maybe that's something you revealed at trial. She's so young, man. We don't even know if she became a woman since he met her when she was 11. Yeah, this is just, what's weird is I've been following this case for a while, and yet the details are so horrifying that I'm just sitting here like I'm almost speechless. And y'all know I don't come on the mic to be speechless. Like, if I don't have anything to say, y'all just don't get shows, and it kind of works that way. This is a nightmare scenario for any parent of a child. And I can't think of a situation where something like this has happened where the people involved were so young. If I'm not mistaken, this David dude is like 21 years old now. He's barely an adult. He met a girl when she was 11. Look, man, what in the world? There is no way. I was looking at anybody when I was 7, looking at anybody in, what's that? That's elementary school, right? When I was 17 or 8. I wasn't even looking. Bruh. Brother, you got ripped off, said she was not pregnant. Like I said, we don't even know if she had the capacity to get pregnant because she was so young. Sometimes people, women develop later. This is to quote Dr. Khaled, this is a sick Negro. Bro, you got ripped off. Remind me to find that drop, because apparently we're going to need that the way 2026. This is a sick Negro, man. And this is a horrible, horrifying case. And I'm just saying, man, the details of this are almost unbelievable. And this goes to show this is the worst case scenario that what could go wrong, to leave that older boy alone, because this is what could happen. Like, this is something that I'm sure parents of girls will be saying to their daughters for a long time once this case becomes more well known as it goes on. So you're gonna ask me, DC, what can we do in this environment where the people who rule the planet advocate for this type of behavior? I'll be honest. This is something Straight Black Pride tried to organize against for years. I don't know what it takes to make black people, being completely honest, care about their children. But that's all ultimately is what it's going to come down to. That, like, for example, this little girl here is no longer here because she couldn't get along with her parents, allegedly, for whatever reason. And she found solace in this young man, and now he's not here anymore. Think about buying a copy of Pizzagate and on Predators and I Miss for a random person in the audience unfamiliar with the lectures. That's from Brother You Got Ripped Off. Because the chat is so quiet, I would say hold off on that. I'll just say this. Hold up, let's put this back up because I'm getting ready to get off here in a few. If there is anyone who has not seen the Predators in Our Midst lecture from Brother Irritated Genie, and you are interested in that, email me, and I'll try to facilitate you receiving that from whether you got ripped off if you're interested. So is that amenable, brother? Is that cool? Is that a good way to do it? Let me know. So I'm gonna just say this. I'm probably going to do this subject again because I've done it before. I hopefully can get more people to watch it, and I hope that as this goes out, more people watch it. I've sent it out to a lot of people, but whatever. And as the next week, or as the week goes on, I will chop this up and I will add some of the videos that I wasn't able to add today. And who knows? Not adding those videos may allow this thing to be monetized. Who knows, right? But and maybe we've already made the decision. I was getting ready to say we got to make a decision of whether or not we're going to protect our children. But maybe as a community, we made the decision that we're not going to protect our children. And I'm the one that didn't get the memo. But we can't have any type of healthy community or any healthy interaction between black men and black women, or healthy interaction between the various generations, or any type of healthy anything, even a community, if we don't address the issue of our children being under siege from predators in our community. It's that simple. There's no way around it. It is what it is. And as we see, things are getting worse. Our children are out of control. They're doing all types of stuff. And no one wants to get to the root of it and ask why. Part of it is fatherlessness. Part of it is drugs and alcohol. And part of it is the violation of our children by not only adults, but even other children. That's how bad it is. So, with that, brothers and sisters, again, I'm your host, DC Radical One. You can follow me on Instagram at DC.Radical1, on Twitter at DC_Radical_ONE, on OTW2 at DC Radical One. When that comes up, you can email me at straightblackpride_DC at protonmail.com. If you found value in this show, Straight Black Pride, the sister Asha segment. I don't know if you were here, sister. If not, you had to catch a replay because we are about to close out. But I thank you for coming through. You can donate via Cashapp if you find value in the show, $ DC Radical One, or you can donate via Zelle or Straight Black Pride _DC at protonmail.com. We will do another show on Saturday. I'm not sure what the subject matter will be because there's a lot of stuff going on, but be on the lookout later this week or early next for updates on the David case and for videos, enhanced videos dealing with the Brandy situation and I guess we'll let the Bambaataa thing go because we have covered that in multiple videos before. So, with that, brothers and sisters, I thank you all for listening, watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let people know about this show, and let's try to find a way to protect our children from these predators that we know are out here because we've got the Epstein file, so we know they exist. And we know that if that's happening to their children, then what's happening to our children is worse. And that's the reality of the situation we don't want to deal with, but it is real. So, with that, I say, be Fourier and Straight Black